All art has a story to tell. Whether it's photography, videography, or painting, everything has something to say. Alright, let's talk about Jackson Pollock for a second. A storyteller turned painter. You know Pollock, even if you think you don't. He was known in the painting industry as someone who stepped off the beaten path. He was dangerous, showing the use of paint for what it actually is, a liquid. At first, his art showed no value, simply a lazy artist splattering paint around until someone finally noticed him. Not for his laziness, but instead for his creativity. He was the first to show a community of art connoisseurs what painting actually was. It wasn't what these other talents were telling them. Paint wasn't the art, but instead a tool to make it. As photographers and videographers, we need to find our way into the realm of creativity. We were born to do this, I believe. Don't you agree? Photography isn't in itself art. Instead, we're merely taking something we view as art, holding it in our hands or our SD cards, and sharing it with the world. No, photography isn't art. Not in the same way that painting is. Photography is much closer to something Pollock might have created. A view only captured by our lenses and our lenses alone. How do we take that and prove that we belong in an industry that's oversaturated? What do you have to say? What makes you, you? Show us, but more importantly, show yourselves. There are multiple things you can do as a photographer to stand out. Graphic design, film, directing with composition. There are probably hundreds of ways to make yourself stand out as an artist. This brings me to fact number 1. No two snowflakes are the same. Yes, it's true that there are a lot of similar photos out there. I'm more than guilty of using another photographer's photo as inspiration. I can say I've never stolen someone's work, but what can I say about using their creativity to shape my own? This fear you might have, stealing someone's work, it's an emotion rooted only to tear you down. You're getting an idea from another artist, whether it be through graphic design, simply going to the same location as them, whatever it is. These are not negatives. In fact, I have a feeling 9 out of 10 artists don't look at this as plagiarism at all. I think most of them think of it as more of a payment forward. They get to say they inspired someone, and you get to say you're inspired. There's a dark commentary when it comes to photography, or all art forms for that matter. You're not stealing someone's work. I don't think so anyway. I do admit you should at least tag them, shout them out, make it known that you were inspired. Don't set yourself up for failure making people think it was your idea when it was never even close. Competition is a myth forged by haters. There's 2 ways to look at people in the same niche as you: competition and companionship. Looking at everyone in your niche as competition is really just a way of telling someone you're insecure about your art, when in reality, we all are. We are all seeking approval, mostly through social media, but through other forms of satisfaction as well. When there's a photographer getting more likes than you, or more views, or more comments, don't look at this as a negative, like you aren't good enough. Instead, look at it for what it is. Someone whose purpose seems to be the same as yours, and they're doing well with it. Take that as opportunity and not competition. You need to form relationships, create bonds that wouldn't have been there if you never reached out. Make your enemies your friends, and the stress will fall off your shoulders. Other photographers are friends, allies in this weird industry we've all found ourselves in. Don't let numbers on a screen scare you away from possible friendship. You might just find yourself with a new creative corner, one that shoots out new ideas you've never thought of. And finally, don't make it corporate. There's gratification in a post getting more likes than usual, getting more shares and eyeballs. But it's nothing like the feeling you get when you shape a photo just right. When you plan, set in motion ideas that have never come out of the storage container that is your mind and journal. I know it's important to listen to an audience. A comedian wouldn't be a comedian without the laughs. But the comedian wouldn't be there if he didn't think what he was saying was funny. Make sure you create what you want to create. Don't get stuck in a bubble of others' opinions so much that you can't remember what you like. It's an equation that only equals unhappiness. You're the boss. At least when it comes to this. Don't make it corporate. Okay, so what have we learned? It feels daunting to try and stand out, to become something that people are genuinely interested in. It's okay to use another artist as an inspiration, to see something and think you want to make it your own. It's better to look at other artists in your industry as a friend and a source of ideas rather than competition. And the most important thing to do is make what you want to make. Not to let a viewership shape you, but to shape your viewership. Jackson Pollock was an artist who used the very tool made to create art as its very own piece. The way it traveled down the canvas, splattering and letting the paint do the work for him. He showed people that there's always a way to stand out, to become someone and find something new in something so many were doing. Sometimes it's finding inspiration and creating something new, but sometimes it pays to look backward in an art form and see what the people forgot. What started it all? What made the thing you love to do the thing you love to do? Show them who you are, what you're capable of, what it means to be passionate. If you enjoyed this video at all, please help me out with that like and subscribe button. Don't miss out on future videos by hitting the notification bell. I'm active in the comments, planning to respond to everyone I get. I'm also active on my Instagram. If you like the ideas I show here, maybe check out the photos that come out of it over there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.